Well, as we come into December 2025 and the year is almost over, I thought it would be a good time to do a State of FilmLab video. Just kind of look back on what we released this year, how FilmLab got better over the last 12 months, and look ahead and talk about some of the things that we feel are important to get done in 2026 and what you as a FilmLab user can look forward to. So let's start by looking back at this last year in releases. 3.1 came out in April. That was our first release with Linux support. And to be honest, that was something that I hesitated to do. I wasn't sure if we wanted to support a whole new platform, but it's actually been really rewarding to hear from all the people who are using FilmLab on Linux. I've used Linux on and off on the desktop for probably the last 20, 25 years, but something seems to be happening right now where a lot of people are getting into Linux. So I'm glad we have FilmLab for Linux. I'm glad people are using it. We also added support for Windows on ARM64. So if you have an ARM chip in your laptop, you now get good performance using FilmLab on your Windows machine. FilmLab 3.1 also included JPEG XL support. If you want high quality exports with modern compression, you don't want the giant size of TIFF files, you can use JPEG XL. And we added some UI improvements with file names showing up in the folder view and a brand new settings screen. Then in August, we released FilmLab 3.2. It fixed color artifacts, it added support for more cameras, and we integrated with the file manager so you can easily go back and forth between the Windows Explorer or the Finder on macOS or whatever file manager you're using on Linux and the FilmLab app. And then earlier this month in November, we released FilmLab 3.3. That adds auto crop, auto rotate, and better auto exposure and auto color balance settings. So now you can let your computer do a lot more work to give you a good starting point for editing your images. It makes it much faster to load and process a roll of film in FilmLab. Also in FilmLab 3.3, we added an upgraded crop tool with fixed aspect ratios and other UI improvements that you asked for. And then currently, in the month of December, we have FilmLab 3.4 out in beta. This will probably be released before the end of the year. That added a histogram, more export options so you can control things like TIFF compression, and support for more cameras as well. So that's the year in review. That's what we shipped for FilmLab upgrades during 2025. So now let's talk about what's coming for 2026 in FilmLab. Let's look ahead at the roadmap. And I've kind of divided it into three sections, three priorities. The first is things that are high priority. And these are all things that are either currently just broken, currently causing pain to people, things that I'm personally embarrassed about, things that if I could, I would just have them fixed yesterday. They absolutely need to be done, and we're going to get them done as soon as possible. Everything on this list should be done in like a 1 to 3 month timeline. So first is a new metadata storage system. Currently, we store metadata when you make your edits in these little sidecar files. Those aren't going away, but we're upgrading our system so that we don't only rely on those sidecar files to store edits while you're working on it. And this is going to have a couple of improvements. First, today, when you work on an external drive or a network drive or any slow storage, FilmLab gets very slow and it also gets kind of unstable and tends to crash more. That's going to be fixed as we move to this new metadata storage backend. And also doing so will enable us to have undo and redo. And I know it's crazy we've come this far without having undo. You hit Command Z or Control Z in FilmLab today, nothing happens. That's going to be fixed. Undo redo is coming. And the other thing that will enable, having this new metadata storage system, is that you'll be able to work with much larger directories of images at a time. That's a problem people run into today when they're trying to do bulk processing of hundreds or thousands of images. It just doesn't work very well, but it will once we've rolled out these new features. Next on the list of urgent things is file name templates. Since we first added exporting in FilmLab, it's always used original file name plus the original extension plus your output extension. So it'll be something like myfile.nef.tiff if you export a Nikon RAW file as a TIFF. People have asked for having more control over those export file names. I absolutely agree. That's going to be coming in the near term. Better keyboard shortcuts is another one. We know you want better keyboard shortcuts. We are going to work on it. The next urgent improvement is being able to zoom to 100% and see the pixels in their full detail while editing. Today, there's a maximum file size we display at once, and if your image is above that and you zoom in, you won't see the full pixel level detail. You might see it at half resolution or something like that. Not acceptable, needs to be fixed. You should be able to view your images in 100% resolution, especially when you're doing things like sharpening and you want to see what's happening at the pixel level. We have a fix on the way for that. Next urgent thing, Missing light source profiles and missing common film stock profiles. We know you want to see the correct profile for the film stock you're scanning and for the light source you're using. On the light source profiles, there's a number of ones that have come out in recent years. Negative Supply has come out with some nice new light sources. Veloy has at least one new light source. We're working on adding those. Our next high priority task is improved fall off correction. We have a fall off correction tool that lets you compensate for uneven light between your light source or the vignetting from your scanning lens. It can really improve the quality of your images, but it's a pain to use today because you have to individually apply it to every single image. We have a task in place to improve that tool and to make it easy to apply the same light fall off profile to a whole batch of images. That's coming soon. The last high priority feature on our list is improving our handling of raw files from scanners. Most FilmLab users are using digital cameras and capturing raw files, but some are still using flatbed scanners, and they're using programs like Silverfast or that other one. ViewScan is it? Okay. Currently, the way FilmLab handles color from those scanners just doesn't give as good results as what you get using a digital camera and scanning to a raw file from a camera. So we're working to improve that. That's a high priority for us. And then finally, this isn't really a feature, but something that we are making a priority is improving our documentation. The available documentation we have today is pretty lacking. We are going to be working to improve that, and we're going to be shooting a series of tutorial videos to help you with the whole film scanning process and hopefully make it easier for people to get started using FilmLab. So that's the priority one list, things that just urgently need to be done. I will be so happy when we finish that list. If you're a FilmLab user, you'll probably be happy to be getting these updates too. The next thing, the second big area of improvement that we have planned on the roadmap for 2026 is new mobile apps. Our mobile apps are in desperate need of an update. The iOS app is a couple of years old. The Android app is even older than that. It doesn't even run on some modern Android devices. So clearly we need to ship our new mobile apps. We've been putting a lot of work into getting them ready to go, and they're almost there. FilmLab 3 for iOS and Android will be coming out early in 2026. These are going to have a lot of things that we've added to the desktop app over the next couple of years. So in some ways, the new mobile apps will just be taking our desktop technology and updating our mobile apps. But there'll also be some new mobile specific improvements. Some things that people have asked for is better batch export from mobile, so you don't have to export your images one at a time, faster navigation between images, better support for add-on macro lenses and other things that are specific to mobile. So we're really excited about releasing those. That will be in the next few months. We expect to have those out in the first quarter of 2026. So then beyond that, having covered all the things that are just urgent problems in my view with the current version of FilmLab, we have other features which are enhancements. And these are also things that are exciting and important and will be really fun to work on, but we need to get the more urgent things done first. So here are a few coming features that you can look forward to in the, I'll say 6 to 12 month timeline as we continue to work on FilmLab through the rest of 2026. First one is something that a lot of people have asked for, dust and scratch removal. That involves two stages. First is accurately detecting where there's dust and scratches on a film scan, and the second is cleaning them up, removing the dust and scratch and inpainting so that you don't see the area where they were. Our work so far on dust and scratch removal has been mostly research and prototyping. We've done enough to prove that it's possible. We're excited to actually implement that and ship it to you. Other enhancements we have in the pipeline are a new curves tool, so you can more accurately control the highlights and shadows when you're developing your negatives. Saturation control, something a lot of people have asked for. A before and after view, so you can compare the before and after when you make edits. Another thing on our pipeline is progress indicators and cancelability for batch operations. Currently, if you process a large number of images at once, sometimes in the UI it's unclear whether it's finished or not, and there's no way to cancel partway through. So we'll be working on those improvements. And metadata support is another one that people have asked for, that we've done some prototyping on and we're excited to implement. Currently, FilmLab does not pass through metadata from the raw file into the output file, so you lose a lot of information like what kind of camera captured your scan, the timestamps and things like that. We're going to support metadata pass-through, even if you go from one format to a different format. That's a little bit of work, due to all the different metadata formats that exist in the world, but we have a plan for it. And that will also let you set metadata fields like DPI, which is a feature that people have asked for. The next area of improvement is one that I think is going to be a much bigger deal than people even know today. And that's being able to export as RAW. So today when you export in FilmLab, actually, I'm not even going to talk too much about that in this video because that's going to be a whole video in itself. It's something that's important to us, and I think it's really going to make film scanning better for a lot of people. I think you're going to be really excited about it. And we have other features similar to that that are more technical in nature and will take some explaining. We'll talk about them more as we get to them. But the one last user interface related thing on a roadmap is folder navigation. Currently, you have to open in FilmLab only one folder at a time. And then you have to go through the whole process of opening another folder. We want to let you navigate through folders and subfolders just like you would in any file-based app, and we're going to add support for that in the UI. So I hope that's helpful in knowing what to expect for FilmLab in 2026. The roadmap may change a little bit as we go, but that's the basic outline of what we're working on. We have our urgent high priority features that we're trying to get done as soon as possible, our new mobile apps, and then fun, more advanced features that will continue to make FilmLab more capable going forward. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.